Rated T for teen.
Sega.
Hello there, my name's Mark Southerns, I'm Associate Producer on Empire Total War.
And I'm James Whitston, a designer on Total War.
So today what we're going to show you is some of the tactics you can use in naval battles, which is one of the new features that Empire Total War brings to the series. And in today's battle you're going to see us using boarding, which is one of the attacks that you can carry out in a naval battle. And I'm going to be using the naval groups, which is a key aspect of the naval battles. We've had them in land battles before, so it's very simple to select your ships first of all, split them into groups, and then you can actually assign formations to each of those groups as well. So I can use any of the preset formations that are available to me, but also there's the option to use your own custom formations in the deployment phase.
Yeah, that's a particularly handy one. You can do that on the fly, and if you spot a position in the battle where you feel a custom formation might do you better than one of the preset formations, you can just set that up and the ships will maintain their relative positions to each other.
Again, that's an advanced technique which I'm not there yet, I'll let Jim do that. But basically what I'm going to do is chain my ships together, and that means now that I've got manual control over that group of ships. The flagship is the ship I like to take control of. What I'm going to try and do is approach Jim's fleet and do some damage to one or two of the key ships, perhaps one of the two of the bigger ships that I can then claim in my fleet when the battle is over. So I'm maybe going to target his third rates, or maybe his first rate, or the Admiral flagship. I'm going to try and use chain shot to try and slow down Jim's ships, try and take out his sails and his masts, and then they're going to close in to board him. I think I've noticed though in Jim's fleet he's got a secret weapon up his sleeve. You've got a rocket ship in there, haven't you?
That's a rocket ship. That's a really good ship for taking out really big enemy ships.
So you can target my first rate with that, and that's going to do
I can.
something.
It's pretty inaccurate, but if I get a hit, I'm confident I'm going to take you out. The ship itself is actually pretty slow and vulnerable, but it works very well if it's got supporting ships. Get them to slow the enemy down with a bit of chain shot.
So I've got to take out your ships protecting that
Yep.
if I want to get to it. And then obviously, I mean, if he's successful and causes infernos on my ships, then I'm in trouble. My crew are going to be scattered, the morale's going to be shot, so I've really got to avoid that situation. At the same time, I'm trying to close in on his first rate to try and board it and try and take that ship for myself. So we'll see what happens when the battle gets going. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
In this battle I'm going to be playing as the British. Jim's going to be coming at me as the Dutch, I believe. He's probably going to be using some fancy custom formations, but I'm going to stick to some preset ones that I'm going to show you now. So, you ready, Jim? So I'm going to start by selecting all my ships by Control A, and then I'm going to use the group button first of all to group them together. And that's important because it gives me access to the preset formation panel here. I'm going to choose the line astern formation this time. It's one that I know very well and it's a common formation to use. And because I've grouped them, it means they're going to chain together and stay in that chain throughout the battle, which you'll see when we get things underway. So I'm going to close the panel, end deployment, and there we go. You see he's deployed rather differently to me. He seems to have some rocket ships out to the left-hand side, so I've got to watch for those. But let's give our first order. We've selected our group, and I'm going to give my first move order. All my ships moving as a chain in that line astern formation, and that's what grouping gives you. It gives you that snake chain formation to enable you to control more than one ship at once and keep your ships in an orderly manner. Now, of course, at any time I can take manual control of ships and move them out of the group, but certainly for the start of the battle, I'm going to want to keep them in this formation to maintain control. I'm going to take manual control of my first ship, my Admiral ship, by turning off fire at will and using the broadside button. And what you see straight away is the arc of fire narrows to indicate that I'm going to do more intense damage by using that. So my gun's loaded, that's fully red, it's red in the arc of fire, and I'm going to unleash my cannons on Jim's ship there. That ship there at the back of Jim's fleet has taken some sail damage, it's lost its first mast there, so that's obviously going to slow it. You'll see from the damage indicator at the top, the white damage bar shows that he's taken some sail damage, which will obviously slow that ship down. So taking back control of the Admiral ship, I'm just going to administer a broadside to that stricken ship, just to weaken it that little bit more. And there you see it's beginning to waver. You see the flashing banner means the morale of the crew of that ship is beginning to waver. Jim's ship, because of the damage I inflicted earlier, is sunk. Again, my ship's still staying in formation. And let's go back to to my third rate, which is now right in line with Jim's Admiral ship. These manoeuvre compass allows me to just fine-tune the movement right and left to make sure I can always bring my guns to bear on the enemy. Now you see the Admiral ship's beginning to rout, so if I let him have it with my guns there, that should worry his crew that little bit more, and in fact I've just killed his Admiral. So that's really going to have a major blow on his fleet. My broadside selected, fine-tune with the manoeuvre compass again, and administer a broadside to both those rocket ships. There we go. Nice. Did you like that, Jim? The Admiral is so crucial to the battle. You've got to keep him alive, you've got to keep him near your ships, so he has that positive effect on morale. Let's click the boarding button and issue the boarding command. And there you see I've targeted his ship. Okay, so my Admiral ship's come round. Just to unleash one last broadside, just to soften him up even more. But the ropes have gone over. And my crew's ready to climb aboard. Just administer some grape shot there to wipe out what crew he's got on decks and below decks. It's done some heavy damage. There we go. I made mincemeat of him.